Okay, we're just checking some settings to make sure everything's running okay as we go live. And I believe we're set up. Hello for anyone who is listening in. This is Bandit, and I'm here today to roll some brackets for the Variety Cup. So part of this stream will be to explain what the brackets are set out like, so what's involved in each stage, make sure that everyone knows what groups they're in, and then finally just a recap as well on what the drafting system looks like in terms of drafting maps for these first play or 3 sets. So all being well, what people should be able to see is the brackets I've just shared on the AI Scripters Discord. And this will get tidied up a bit more, but consider this a first draft, as it were. And on the left-hand side is our round 1. So a big thank you for everybody who submitted AIs. So we've got 10 AIs in total, not including the Definitive Edition AI that's built in. And to round it off to 12 AIs, just so it's an easy, more manageable number, I've also added in the HD AI as well. What's quite nice is that they are somewhat different. I find the HD AI tends to be a bit more aggressive in a lot of scenarios, so it should test different play styles as we go along. So the setup is at the beginning, we'll have 12 AIs, and these 12 AIs will be split into 4 groups of 3. Then each of these groups of 3 will play against each other in a play all 3. I'll explain what those 3 matches look like in a mo, but you should be able to see when I click on here, everyone in that group gets to play against each other effectively. So there'll be 3 games total, or 3 sets, I should say, total in each group. 3 games in each set, so 9 games per group. We play all of them because what happens is we'll tally up the number of wins, and the player with the lowest number of wins at the end of all of the games will be eliminated from that round. So the top 2 will continue through. Those top 2 then get split off into an array of brackets over here into the quarterfinals. So those 8 will go, as you can see, A1 at the top here, A2, B1 here, B2, C1, C2, D1 and D2. So everyone should be playing people from different groups for a little while. And then it goes into an ordinary single bracket. So quarterfinals 1 and 2 winners will play each other in the semi-final. Quarterfinals 3 and 4 winners play each other in the semi-final. And then those losers of each semi-final play for a 3rd place. And then we go into the final. Quarterfinals and semi-finals will be best of 5, and I'll explain the best of 5 rules in another stream as we get closer to it. And then our final is a best of 7, so we'll play all but 2 of the 9 maps that we have going on for the Variety Cup. So moving on from here, what I'll be doing is I want to effectively do a roll for where each of these AIs go. And to do that, I've got a nice little tool which I think some other streamers use, which is Wheel of Names. So let's switch over to that now. and hopefully people will be able to see that. What we've got here is a list of all of the 12 AIs that are going to be entering into this tournament. Some solid names along in there, and they're all in this wheel. And what we'll do is as we go through each, as we roll each name in the wheel, we'll pull that name out so it disappears from the wheel. And then going back to our spreadsheet, what we'll do is we'll start filling in with A1, and then we'll move into B1, C1, D1. So, and kind of fill in one at a time through each of the groups as we go. I've got a little section here that will do that for us. So the idea is when it comes to our final rolls, we'll then get a final idea of each group. So they will builds a bit of suspense as we go. So let's pan back to the wheel. And hopefully the sound for this will come through okay as we do. I've just got a nice little satisfying spinning sound on it. And we'll see who gets into the first group. We'll shuffle this 3 times first. Okay, so we've got Games God in the first group. So we'll hide him so that he gets taken out. And what we'll do is behind the scenes, I'll just pop him into the first group. So group 1, we'll start with Games God. And after every 4, I will pan back to the Excel spreadsheet just so you can see how it's looking as it fills up. So Games God in Group A. Who's going to be the first in Group B? Oh, Sun Tzu. So Group A, Games God. Group B, Sun Tzu. First one in Group C. Let's have a look. Just over the edge, we've got Naga joining Group C. Get an idea of what these look like in a mo. Going on next. Hi, Toby. As you can see here, we've got 3 of your AIs still in the mix here, so we'll see who you end up getting in these. Thank you as well for not just adapting 1 AI, but to adapting 3 for these maps. Really appreciate the effort that's gone into it. And it looks like Soldier. Soldier's going to be in Group D. So we'll hide him along. I'll pop Soldier into the groups. And I'll give you sight of the brackets for Mo. So as it stands, we've got Games God in Group A, Sun Tzu in Group B, Naga in Group C, and Soldier in Group D. And we'll get an idea in a mo of the kind of people that we're going to be playing against. But it seems like a good distribution so far, I'd say. So panning back to our wheel. Hey Aleph, how you doing? Got Illuminati in here still yet to be drawn. we've just had Soldier, we've got the King and the Conqueror still in here, and whoever is going to be in this next group will be facing off against Games God as one of the opponents. So let's see. Is it HD or is it Supervillain? I think it's HD. Yes. So HDAI is going to be facing off against Games God as one of the opponents. So next we've got someone who will be playing against Sun Tzu. Go for death already. Naga, Illuminati, and either DEAI or Brightspark, I imagine, probably the ones that you wouldn't want in the same group. So, Sun Tzu. This looks like Brightspark. Okay, so Brightspark facing off against Sun Tzu. Adapting for the water maps was quite fun. You did. I was gonna say you did it all in one day, didn't you? The final adaptation. I put a bit more work into the water, I have to admit. It was getting on my nerves how I felt like I'd produced units for it, but they weren't getting value. So yeah, I put a bit of time into it, and I'm much happier than where I was. This is a group that's going to be facing Naga coming up now, so let's see who gets it. There's 2 slots in Group C still to go. I mean, that's pretty fitting, isn't it? Naga and the DEAI, I mean, they've had amazing fights in 2 tournaments on the trot. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Promi and Offworld both adapted for each of the 9 different maps. I think both of these are probably the most general of them. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I have to admit, I kind of wanted to see HDAI and Definitive Edition AI because they've adapted quite differently on some of these maps now, particularly maps like Arena. HDAI is much more aggressive, but maybe we'll see that in a later stage. So moving on, we've got whoever's next going to be playing Soldier. There's a very realistic chance here. I mean, it's coming up that Toby might have all 3 of his AIs in the same group. We'll wait and see. But let's see who's going to be joining Soldier in Group D. Aleph, if you're avoiding Naga's group, you've got 3 roles left. Silvertongue. Okay. I know Rorik said he tried really hard to get some adaptations in. It wasn't the full update that he wanted, but he was pleased that he adapted enough for the maps that he was going for. So I think he's cut out water on his. But just panning back to the brackets so you can see them so far. OBS, where are you? There you are. Let's pan back. So far we've got Games God and HDAI. They've had some pretty decent games actually in previous tournaments, with Games God just pipping the post with its recent update. Sun Tzu I know very little about since Randy pretty much rewrites Sun Tzu for each tournament. So it'll be interesting to see what he comes out with. Naga and DEA is going to be an absolute banger. And Soldier and Silvertongue, I think, will be pretty well balanced as well. Again, it'll be interesting to see how you've both adapted to different maps and what you go for. But yeah, really excited about that. So, final rolls coming through. Aleph, you've got 2 rolls left before and then a 50-50 chance against going into Group C. So we'll see what you get from that. But to be fair, going back to here, so we've got Games God and HDAI. I think Illuminati and the supervillain perhaps could upset that group. And to be fair, the King as well, actually. King's really well refined for Age of Kings AI. Let's see what we get. Illuminati. So that's actually quite a fun group. So let's paste over there. So yeah, we've got Games God, HDEI, and Illuminati. I don't imagine, Aleph, you've done much testing against HDAI. I imagine it'd be the definitive edition one you'd be more likely to do. But it'd be interesting to see how that extra aggression goes against Illuminati. I mean, you're calling it a free group, so you're feeling quite confident on that one. With HDAI and Definitive Edition AI, I should say as well, as you might imagine, we'll go with random rolls for its map picks and team size picks for its decisions. And same for the Civ picks as well, but we'll just make sure that no Civs get rolled more than once. Okay, Group B, which is currently Sun Tzu and Bright Spark. We're going to be joined by one of these 3. Which of those? The Conqueror, and also this means that all of Toby's AIs are split between groups so far. I suppose the King could end up with Soldier still. We'll see. We'll remove that and add that in the group as well. Okay, who's going to be joining Naga and Definitive Edition AI? Aleph's already said it, supervillain in a group of death, potentially. Though I'd say actually supervillains all in could well take some wins from both of them. I know he tests a lot against Definitive Edition AI. And we're going to find that out. Supervillain is joining Group C. Hiya, Elias. Joined just at the right time. And that means, of course, the King will be joining Group D. So it will, in fact, be facing Soldier. So just getting a recap of what they look like. Let's pan back to OBS, switch that over. So, Games God, HDAI, Illuminati. I would imagine as well, actually, Aleph, historically, when asking Games God for any kind of draft or Civ picks, he always comes back with, just go random. So there's a good chance that he may do the same here, but we'll see. Elias is saying that you might die in the team games. Well, I suppose you can at least guarantee that you won't get a team game in one of them, if that's what you're going for. And then it's a look at the dice if your opponent's forcing you into a team game. Sun Tzu, Bright Spark, and the Conqueror. I think that should be a good fun group. The Conqueror, I would say, well, it's taken a game from Bright Spark before in Prince of Hideout. Toby's very good at optimizing for civs. It'll be interesting to see the Conqueror in team games. And yeah, Sun Tzu's a real unknown factor. I know that Arandi's very good with economy, but it'll be interesting to see what he's been working on in terms of military. But yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what maps we get for those sets. Naga DEAI and Supervillain. I think that's going to be I think that's going to be a great mix. Really excited to see Supervillain with. I know Elias had worked on a new personality for it as well. So it'll be interesting to see if that comes out against either of these. And I think, again, particularly in smaller team games, might give both of these AIs some trouble. And then Soldier, Silvertongue, and the King. The King and the Soldier face each other before. They're normally a close match. Silvertongue, again, like really polished kind of early Castle Age attack. I don't know what adaptations Rorik's made for the other maps. And if there's any Navy that's included in hybrid maps, we'll see. But also, I'm interested to see, I think quite a few people were working on Michi in particular. So it'd be interested to see how many times that gets picked or whether it gets avoided. Group C is brutal. I'd say I think every tournament has one of those. Admittedly, Bright Spark's normally in them. I think anytime there's a group with Immortal in it, it normally kind of attracts Bright Spark, but no Immortal this time around. So what does that mean for the games we're going to be playing? In terms of first sets, the way that I'll do it to keep up suspense as we go along is we'll go for the games in order in group. So we'll start with a game in Group A, then Group B, then Group C. So the idea being that when it comes to the last 4 matches that we do, no one's sure about whether an AI gets eliminated or not. So we'll never get to a point where we're playing a game and we already know the result of the group. So that should keep things interesting. The other thing I should say, so we've got play all 3 for each of these. So there's a maximum of 3 wins in each set. One of the questions I anticipate is what happens if everyone 3-0s everybody else? That could be a 3-way tie. Or there's also potential for the bottom 2 to be tied as well. So answering the easier one here, and I'll make sure this is written out as well afterwards. So if we've got a tie at the bottom 2, then it'll be a case of whoever won that set will be the one that goes through on that. Whereas with all 3 of them being tied, that kind of break can't happen. That kind of tie break can't happen. So we'll end up in a bit of a silly scenario, which will play out where everyone will have to play each other again in one game. Where it's a map that neither of them have selected, so a random map that's not been picked yet after the bans have been considered, and a random team size that hasn't been picked yet. And we'll keep looping that around almost in a sudden death format until someone is eliminated. So there'll be someone who should lose 2 games eventually. If that goes on for many, many matches, I might have to improvise, but I doubt it will. So that is a case with tie breaks. And actually, yeah, this makes it a bit easier actually in terms of running games, because it might be that both of these end up going random. But just so you can prepare for the drafts, actually, before preparing for the drafts, one last thing, sorry. Elias, you asked me about the updates to AIs. So I had to think about this, and to keep things fair, any updates will be implemented after that group stage. So I'll re-download again after the group stage. If there's something absolutely AI breaking, that then we can talk about it as part of a group. But in terms of just casual updates, I figured between these rounds here is the best way to do it. And the reason I say that is because let's imagine we did it after the first load of games. So take Games God and HDAI here. If we allowed updates between then, Illuminati's not played yet, Conqueror's not played yet, Supervillain's not played yet, and neither has the King. So these effectively would get a free update without having played any games. So it's almost like giving them more time. So at least if we wait until the whole group stage is finished, then everyone's AIs had the same amount of play time before updates are taken into account. So that's what's going on with updates. And then finally, just try to get something visual broken down for the draft system. Again, just for anybody who watches this back as a recording, perhaps. So let's imagine we've got two players. One of them is blue, one of them's red. We'll just call them blue and red for now. And what should happen if I click this now? It should just bring up the different maps. Okay, so from here, we've got 9 maps. So let's imagine we've got player blue and player red. We know what the 9 maps are. Both of them get a free ban at the same time. So what we do is offline. I'll do this through messages. So I don't know. Let's imagine it was probably a Games God if they were both active for HDAI and Games God. Then what I would do is I would ping them a message asking them to send me their bans. And the idea is this way, if there's a map, I said you had to play at least 8 of the 9 maps. So if there's one of these maps that you can't play, you can guarantee to ban it. It's never going to come up for you. So you can at least know your AI is going to run. So chances are both players will pick different maps. So let's imagine here that player 1 ends up, or player blue, sorry, bans Arabia. Player red bans Team Islands. Off the back of that, that leaves 7 maps remaining. And from those 7 maps, again, both players will know which maps have been banned. And then they'll get to pick independently, so effectively at the same time, they'll be able to send their map choice that they want to play on of those remaining 7. So in this case, let's imagine player blue picked Arena and player red picked Baltic from that. Suddenly, we now have 2 maps of Airplay or 3. The next thing to happen then is for each map that has been selected, the opponent then chooses the team size for that map. So that means that player red chooses the team size for blue's arena pick, and player blue picks the team size for red's Baltic pick. So in this case, perhaps red is opting for a 1v1, whereas blue's more comfortable in team games, so it's chosen a 4v4 for Baltic. In this scenario, then game 3 is chosen randomly. So the map is chosen out of the remaining maps that haven't been banned, as is the team size. So Michi has been selected here at random, and so their game 3 will be a Michi with a 2v2. So hopefully that initial part makes sense. So there's a couple of other things that can happen with this. So try to play out every scenario. So yeah, 2 things can happen back at the initial stage. When it comes to banning, what happens if both players ban the same map? Well, simply, both players get to pick from the 8 remaining maps, and they'll know that both of them have banned the same one, which might help them in future decisions. So nothing too dramatic happens here. just 8 remaining maps that they can pick from. So they'll get the list, and then both players get to choose which map that they want. The other thing that can happen is in the choosing map phase, both players can also pick the same map because they're picking independently and effectively simultaneously. There's a chance that this can happen. That arena gets picked by both players. In this scenario, what happens is 2 maps then get rolled at random. So in this case, Team Island and Rivers got rolled from the non-ban map. And from here, what happens is one of the players will be given Team Islands to pick a team size for. The other player will be given Rivers to pick a team size for. And then of the map that they have both selected, the team size picked will be random. So you'll end up with, say, red maybe picks 3v3 for Team Islands, blue picks 2v2 for Rivers. And then we've got a random pick of 1v1 that happened for the arena pick. So those are kind of all the combinations that can happen with the drafts. So don't think there's anything that's been missed out there. So hopefully that's just a bit of a good outline for everyone who maybe kind of read the rules on it and were a bit confused. Hopefully just going through it like that has made it easier. So coming up to the end of this bit now. So going back to the slides for the Mo. So our first games that we're going to have going is Games God and HDAI. I will try to do Sun Tzu and Bright Spark, but what I might do first is prioritize games 1 of Group C and Group D, just to make sure that people have the drafting down okay. Because with my own drafts, I'll be looking for a volunteer, probably someone who isn't a participant that can do our draft for us, just to keep things fair and that I don't have visibility on what people pick. But if you're seeing this and your AI's on the list here, then have a think about which map you want to ban for your particular set and which map you might want to pick. And I'll do a back and forth with you to get those picks down. And I believe that'll be it. The only other thing is schedule. I'm going to be posting my schedule on Twitch. So I've just mapped it out and finalized it with family and work today. So the next stream where we'll actually be running matches will be this Thursday evening. So that gives time to get the drafts done in between then offline. And then from Thursday, again, from the calendar, you'll get to see it, but I'll have a number of streams happening in the week and on the weekends. So I would anticipate that we should get through the group stage within the space of a week once we start. So we should be able to move things pretty quickly there. And then things I imagine will slow down for the quarterfinals as it's a best of 5. So there's a bit more drafting and a bit more time between games. But yeah, aiming to get the majority, if not all of this group stage done in the first week. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I'll post the details on the Discord as well. But yeah, thank you for those who've joined. Any questions, by all means, just ping me a message. But yeah, thank you for the hard work in getting these AIs ready. Really looking forward to seeing what people draft, first of all. And I'll present those at the first stream as well. So you get an idea of people's decision making. And yeah, on top of that, I'm just really excited to see what adaptations people have made for both the maps and for team games. But thank you for your time, folks, and I'll catch you on the next stream.